the time has come to finally say that we are a collective group of people entitled to everything that white America has denied us of, and we will not let anybody tell us who we can and cannot be, where we can and cannot be, and how we can govern our own people. Our time of obeying white America is finished. Our time of looking at ourselves as inferior is finished. Our time of facing systematic oppression without any solution is finished. Our time of feeling like we have no hope given America's inability to address our problems appropriately is finished. And this is one thing that you will grow to realize once you understand how eventually, when you put so much pressure on a mineral, or should I say a gem, which is the black man, we will eventually burst and bring forward the necessary changes possible so that we can adapt to the current circumstances that face us. As a collective, have been tired of having white people speak on our community, having white people falsely accuse us. We are tired of living up to your image and your stereotypes, which do not fit our nature. Our nature being what we have grown up to believe within our homelands, which is nothing like North America has presented, from jungles to savages to misbehaved people, monkeys. We have reached that point where it's officially time to stop looking at ourselves as little children, as helpless children, and actually start putting a fight and an initiative towards making the cause better for ourselves. And this is one thing that I know America fears, but this is nothing to do with feelings. It is never personal. This is simply what we as black people need to realize if we want any chance at living in a society that provides optimal growth and that provides us with safety. We cannot keep living up to these false crimes, these false diagnoses, all because we stand up and we try to provide for our community, in which the system has already created a very clever trap to make sure that the black man does not ascend in the workforce, to make sure that the black man does not have a voice in his own house, and to make sure that if he is seen within any boundaries outside of the doctrine that white America has created from history, being that he is inferior and that he needs to rely on white people for pay, for work, and for survival, that black man is seen as crazy. That black man has common sense. Please, anytime you go and you find yourself in a position where you haven't lived your life to the fullest, you let them know what's been going on with you as a black person. Anytime the police give you trouble in those stores, you let them know what's going on with you as a black person. Anytime those medical doctors tell you that they try to diagnose you with one of their sick, twisted labels, you let them know that you are a black person, and we don't have this where we're from. And believe me, we don't. We have nothing but unity, harmony, and growth. We do not live up to these systematic oppressions and these traps, along with these concerns that bring forward a sense of iniquity within our cultural barriers, which we have been forced to surrender. That time for surrender has reached its halt. That time for surrender will never have a place within our community, and neither will any racist sellout of any sort who seems to justify the oppression we go through because of our skin color. That will never happen. And this is the mindset that I'm encouraging are black people to adopt because we don't have anything as far as we're concerned in America. We don't have our own businesses. We are the only race that doesn't have our own business. We are the only race that for some reason cannot establish a neighborhood of our own. And it's not until we realize this that eventually we can grow to realize that the same thing that America has done for themselves, we are capable of doing for ourselves as a group of people who can reunite and actually bring forward an effective change and growth related to the cause. And this is the only way that we are eventually going to grow. If you take a look at anybody who has been thrown into a systematic incarceration throughout history, you will realize the main thing that helped them get through it was a knowledge of self, was a fight and a community. And if we as black people can even start this as an initiative by understanding that we are not our own enemies, understanding the true roots and the problem at hand, we will be in a completely suitable position to turn around that false mentality that has been given to us by the system, which is foreign. Should we actually address this to the system itself, because the law has been cleverly designed in a way that anytime a black man speaks up against the injustice and the inequality and the lack of treatments that he receives, it has been written throughout history that he has no rights to speak and he has no rights to a healthy concern. America has made its mind up about us, and we need to make our mind up about ourselves instead of letting America think for ourselves. We need to build our own factories instead of having America feed us all this nonsense junk that we have been taught that makes up our culture. Fried chicken, soul food. No disrespect to our people, but we need to understand the roots, right? The yams from our plantations, right? The fruits, the vegetables, the unique foundation that goes beyond bread and fried chicken and all these foods that America has taught us that we need to eat. We need to get out of the programming ASAP that has taught us that the only way we're gonna make it in a place like this is through dealing dope, or engaging in professional sports, or hating on one another, or writing bad, foul music about each other. When we have been built on a foundation of harmony, we need to show them the true power of black people by not doing them how they have been doing us for the past couple of years. And this is the only way that we can provide a appropriate, adequate change to make sure that our future generations and our children do not have to face some of these problems that are present within the states of America. What kind of freedom is it? And you tell me right now, what kind of freedom is it when you can't even walk in the grocery store without being followed by a security guard, knowing that security guard has been trained and indoctrinated through history and through systematic cause, and we have police evidence, actually police files, to prove that there is a systematic approach that one in America must take to incarcerate a black person who is ever seen in a community where he does not belong. And you tell me right now, what kind of freedom is it when this black person doesn't even have a voice to speak up? Because when he does, he's accused of being crazy, he's accused of being hateful, he's accused of being everything in the book. They throw every label at him, despite the fact that the black man has done nothing. What kind of freedom is that? And what kind of freedom is it when you can't even dine in the finest restaurants in the city because the prices have already disqualified you, along with the culture and the staff? What kind of freedom is it when your job doesn't even know how to show you respect? When you have children and a family you have to feed, and your workers are constantly oppressing you, and there is nobody within the system who you can resort to should you experience any sort of psychological sort of oppression, because everybody is so blind to the point where, ironically, they only see what they see, and they do not understand your circumstances. But your only job is to understand your own. If America won't do it for you, you do it for yourself, and you let them know, okay, through any means possible, in an ethical manner, of course. You let them know how life has been as a black man. You let them know what's going on with your kids who are just trying to make it and live their dreams, as we all know have had dreams of being firefighters, of lawyers, of noble men and women who can provide for their community, of business owners, but are trapped, systematically trapped by the law, which has already imprisoned 90% of black men in incarceration, to the point where when they even get out of those systems, they are immediately seen as the criminal, as the enemy, as the threat to society. And there has been no greater threats to America other than the American himself, the same man who took your ancestors from where they were living peacefully, minding their own business, the same man who every day tries his best to accuse you of the same crime that he himself has been guilty of creating within our community. The same man who, for some reason, does not have enough common sense to know that the black man has every right within his mannerism and his experience to speak and to discuss any problem and propose a solution. The same man who, for some reason, has accused you of violence, but has the most violent history of slavery, the most violent history of oppression ever known to mankind beyond the black community. And this is a man who you're gonna let tell you, ironically, that you're the oppressor, you're the violent one. You will never in your life wake up to that realization until you read your books, until we teach our black people history, until we teach them foundation and teach them that America will not just wake up one day and grant us what we need to build our community. And this is what we know. This is the only way that we feel like we're ever going to make a stamp in this world. We do not want to be recognized by white America. We want nothing to do with white America. We don't want anything to do with your schools. We don't want anything to do with your racist medical teams, which have already pre-diagnosed from birth the condition of the black man. We don't want anything to do with your systems, which have already taken every black man and pre-assumed him a threat, regardless of what he does, despite the fact that he can be doing nothing. He could be doing nothing, minding his own business, putting his headphones in. And the police, like I mentioned, have created their own agenda as to how to deal with these black people, in a sense that they will no longer be present to fight or to have a say in this world. And this is what you need to realize, that once you break free of this systematic training, of this mindset, of this mentality, of these broken chains, you will be free.